The New York Knicks are about to unleash their secret weapon that they've been waiting to use, and now, with the injury to Jalen Brunson, the Knicks are in perfect position to break out their future star that Tom Thibodeau called for the New York Knicks to draft, and they desperately need a playmaking boost, as Deuce McBride, the starting point guard with Brunson out, is not the best playmaker and has not really been playing too much point guard this season at all, and we're going to break it all down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. Guys, if you're a fan of the channel, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure to subscribe. If you're part of that 68% that's not subscribed, make sure to hit the button. It really does help us out a ton. We're on that grind, trying to get to 14K. We could really use your support, but let's jump into the video. We have a lot to discuss. The New York Knicks lost Jalen Brunson for multiple weeks with an ankle injury that has him out at least 2 weeks, according to Shams. And, well, in that time period, the Knicks need to figure out other options at point guard, and Tom Thibodeau has gone through his list of guys, such as Cameron Payne, and now also Deuce McBride, who is the starter, not surprising there. But McBride has not been playing point guard much at all this season. He's mainly been a guy who's been really just a combo guard, but more playing the shooting guard position, being a catch-and-shoot guy who also plays great defense, just being a 3-and-D guy in a more general sense. But the Knicks, they have their secret weapon now ready to show up and show out in Tyler Kolek, who has been recalled to the big club by the Knicks and is on his way out to California, or already has gotten to California, as he joins the New York Knicks and makes his way to the team where he's expected to get minutes, as the Knicks need a playmaking boost, and Tyler Kolek's the best playmaker on the roster with Jalen Brunson out. Now, diving into this was brought up initially by Tommy Beer, who said that according to James Edwards of The Athletic, Kolek was en route to meet the team in California, and Stephen Bondy also posted that Kolek was with the Westchester Knicks and wouldn't be available on Friday, but would be joining the team before Monday in Sacramento against the Kings, which does make things very, very interesting, to say the least. So it's kind of interesting that he wasn't playing earlier, but now he's back, and Beer was upset with this, saying on Wednesday, New York announced that they had assigned Pacome Dadier and Tyler Kolek to the G League. Westchester played in Austin on Thursday. How is that possible that Kolek and Dadier were not available for Friday's game? How was Kolek not on a plane from Texas to Los Angeles as soon as Brunson crashed to the floor in agony, clutching his ankle on Thursday night? It's not like the kid had to search online for the most affordable flight from Austin to LAX. The Knicks are a billion-dollar sports franchise. Get Kolek on a private jet and get him into the game, which does make sense. The Knicks definitely need a guy like Tyler Kolek who can run an offense, who can set guys up in position to score. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, they're two guys that they're at their best when they're being set up in good positions to score and not fully just creating for themselves. Karl-Anthony Towns needs a guy to run pick and rolls and pick and pops with as well, and Tyler Kolek covers all these bases. I know the argument is, well, he doesn't play good defense, but it's like, hey, neither does Jalen Brunson. And I'm not saying Brunson's a bad defender. He's not. He's actually a better defender than he should be. But so what if Kolek doesn't play defense? You need the playmaking. No one else has playmaking. So you can't just say, well, this guy doesn't play defense, so we can't play. We have guys who aren't good playmakers who play. So the Knicks need to figure this out. Tyler Kolek does seem like the correct option to give a good amount of minutes to right now, as he has been good when he's played, and the fans are also calling for it throughout Twitter. People are calling for Tyler Kolek to get in the game, get on the floor, and be essentially be the Jalen Brunson's playmaking that the Knicks have lost. They're not going to get his scoring. There's no way to find someone to replicate Jalen Brunson. He's a top 10 player in the NBA, but they could use Kolek, who's right above me right now, right up there, and it would just make sense to add him and get him going on this team. It's just, this is the perfect time to use Tyler Kolek, a guy who's averaging 10 assists in the G League with 18 points as well. The man's a very, very talented point guard, and he's 23 years old. It's not like you're throwing a 19-year-old in there and saying, hey, be the premier playmaker on this third seed in the Eastern Conference. No, we're not asking that. We're asking for him to be solid. Now, he hasn't gotten much minutes at all in the regular season this year, as Kolek, as of right now, is putting up 1.8 points per game and 0.8 assists in very limited minutes while shooting 38% from the field and 39% from three. But a lot of this is just because he's not really getting any minutes at all to really show up and show what he could do. But the Knicks need someone to help. I mean, Jalen Brunson, a guy who puts up 26 points, 7 rebounds, shoots 49% from the field and 38% from three. This is a guy who the Knicks are going to be without for the next 2 weeks or so. And, well, they're going to need to find someone to pick up the slack. And Tyler Kolek is the guy who mirrors Brunson the best out of all the guys the New York Knicks have. They also do have Deuce McBride, who is their starting point guard as of right now, putting up 9 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. And I love Deuce. I'm a big fan of Deuce. I'm not trying to make it seem like I don't like Deuce or I don't think he's very good. I think Deuce is great. I just think he is more of a combo guard. And this Knicks team does not have a ton of playmaking. Outside of Jalen Brunson, they have Josh Hart, who's a good secondary playmaker. But outside of that as well, and you have Towns, who's a good playmaker for a big man. But they need a true point guard, and the only real true point guard on the team is Tyler Kolek, outside of Jalen Brunson, obviously. So this just would make a ton of sense to roll with Kolek and see what he's got. This is the time. You see what Kolek has. You don't have too many other options for a true guard. On top of that, the Knicks also could use DeLon Wright, who is on the team, which people don't really remember sometimes. DeLon Wright this season is putting up 2.4 points, 1.6 rebounds, and nearly 2 assists per game. He's shooting 27% from the field and 24% from three. Frankly, I don't really know why DeLon Wright's on the Knicks. Doesn't make much sense. They have a bunch of point guards, and even with this now, DeLon Wright's still not getting into the game, but apparently the Knicks want to keep him and not buy him out. It doesn't make sense to me. I do think the Knicks are going to end up buying out DeLon Wright as well, if we're being honest. I think we're going to see both TJ Warren and Moses Brown end up on the Knicks, and we will do another buyout update when there's more news to cover on that. A deal should be coming soon, so stay tuned for that as well. But looking at this is when you play Kolek. You're out of options. Who else are you going to play? You can play Cameron Payne. He's a point guard option. You can play Deuce McBride, who is good, but he can't run an offense. And then you have DeLon Wright, who's shooting 27-24 shooting splits. And it's like, what are you supposed to do with that? Like, Tyler Kolek's your one option here. He's your one option if you want the Knicks offense to be rolling. The problem is the way that Tom Thibodeau coaches offense makes things very freelance, very ISO heavy, so that the playmaking might not come into his mind as an idea because he favors scoring and defense over playmaking. And because of that, the Knicks are going to struggle to beat team-oriented defenses when just consistent ISO ball by McHale and running screen and rolls with Cat are the only two plays the Knicks are using, and they don't have a true playmaker to really be the engine to make things go and work out and have a steady flow on offense. I mean, not even considering the fact that Jalen Brunson does so much due to the scoring and is the most clutch player in the NBA this season. Let's take that aside from things. Let's separate that and consider the fact that when you're looking at this New York Knicks team, they desperately need a playmaker because, I mean, dude, this is the team that's the one weakness outside of Brunson and Hart. I mean, Hart averages a good amount of assists per game, like 5-6 assists per game. But outside of that, there's no one really else doing anything outside of Brunson and Hart when it comes to playmaking. You can't have one guy who's a good passer on your team. You need a guy who can help this Knicks offense still flow when Brunson's out. The Knicks have had some injury issues. They've had a lot of issues defensively, mainly because of the lack of Mitchell Robinson all season. And, well, you look at it and you can't have a defense that's sputtering and then an offense that doesn't have a creator or a guy who can create shots for other people. It just doesn't make sense. But the thing is, the Knicks do have a creator. They have Tyler, the creator. So they should be using Tyler Kolek more. The thing is, it comes down to, is Tibbs going to be willing to play a guy who's been weak defensively thus far into the first season of his NBA career? If they are, I do think the Knicks would be better. I think they are better off playing Kolek around 20 minutes a night. I think he's ready. I think he deserves it. He's a great shooter. He's a great playmaker. The Knicks could use both those things right now. So, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like this video, subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.